One of my favourite things to witness is when tiny house design principles are applied to slightly larger homes. It just gives this wonderful opportunity for real magic to happen. And that's exactly the case with this next incredible small home that we're about to visit. Hi Holly, how are you?
Hey Bryce, good thanks, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. G'day Benj, how's it going, mate?
Good, thanks mate, how are you?
Very well, it is a pleasure to meet you both and I am so excited to see your incredible home.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, welcome to the Nook.
It is my pleasure to be here. This is something very special you've created here, isn't it?
Certainly is, yeah. Been working on it for quite some time, about 5 years or so, 5,000 hours.
Wow.
Bit of a labour of love.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, this is a very unique home. First of all, can you tell me how you came to be here?
Yeah, so I grew up here till I was 18. We had a wider block here and over the years they sort of split up and left and subdivided off a bit and yeah, I bought one of the blocks off my mum.
You certainly have created an amazing place here. Now, this isn't a tiny house per se, but it is still quite small. What are the dimensions of this home?
Yeah, so the dimensions are 4 metres by 6 metres and then 6.5 metres tall.
It's a very striking looking home. It's quite thin, but very tall. What was the reason for doing that?
We wanted to minimise the impact on the land, so we wanted to keep the footprint as small as possible. So by doing that, we went up to create a bit more space.
Great. Less house, more gardens.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Definitely.
From the outside in.
And to that end, you have done also a phenomenal job with the landscaping here. This just looks so beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, the garden, it was really important to us to have a beautiful space and to be able to grow lots of native plants and create a bit of beautiful habitat for the local wildlife, which is plenty here. Yeah, it's really
The rocks
special.
are bringing in some lizards and the plants are bringing in some birds.
Lots of birds, lots of bees. If you walk around the garden throughout the morning and evening, it's yeah, beautiful. It's humming with life.
And you've got lots of spaces out here to really take advantage of the amazing location that you're in. I see you've got the hot tub over there as well. That's a really nice addition.
The cast iron bath, yeah, that's pretty new, but we've been really enjoying it, sitting out under the sky and the stars. It's beautiful out there at night time.
Absolutely. The views from this section are really quite special, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a really specky spot, so very lucky.
Yeah, overlooking the national park there.
Yeah, beautiful Gary Word over there.
It's a really beautiful spot, kind of reminds me of my childhood, sort of going over to Europe with mum and dad and having family holidays over there and having these beautiful areas to sit outside and look at the view. So
It's got a bit of that aesthetic, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to sort of recreate that here.
Beautiful. And the house just looks so good. This was actually a DIY project, wasn't it?
It was. Many years into planning.
Had you had any experience with building before?
Not particularly. My dad built a few cottages with my mum out of recycled materials and I was always sort of involved in that a little bit, but I mean, not in terms of planning or anything like that. Even though I was involved in building so much of this myself, there was involvement from so many friends and family, and I just know that I couldn't have got it done without them, like especially Holly. And my dad definitely played a part in that too. Like he was my soundboard. I'd always be emailing him every day and just telling him my ideas. And I think he was a bit of an enabler sometimes because he'd be like, yeah, no, that sounds great, just go with that.
Yeah.
And what was it that made you want to build a small home?
I think it's a bit of a reflection of who we are, trying to be as minimal impact as possible and only use the things that we sort of need.
Yeah, it allows us to remain living consciously and intentionally, which is really what we're about.
And the look of this home is just so unique. Can you talk to me about the design?
Yeah, the design's taken a bit of influence from sort of all over the place. Some in the UK, some inspiration from there, and then some sort of Australian inspiration. So there's the classic Colorbond monument. But yeah, we've got the red brick sort of bring it into the landscape quite well, I think.
We spent a bit of time together living back in my home in the UK. I think during that time, Benj got quite a lot of design inspiration from
Definitely.
that. A few sort of barn inspirations and little cottage moments.
Yeah, Holly's mum lived in this really small, quaint little cottage.
Chocolate box cottage.
Yeah. So there's a few little inspirations taken from that.
And I see you've gone off the grid with this home as well. You've got the solar panels up there and a good amount of water supply.
Yeah, we're almost off the grid. We're still connected, but we've hooked up a 4.5 kilowatt system on top, and we've got our bore up the back that supplies enough water for us and the garden.
And around the back of the house, that's obviously where the business end is. What's going on over there?
Yeah, I call that one the service wall. So everything that runs the house is around the back, and it's just neatly tidied up on that back wall. We've also got our washing machine out there, all boxed up because it saves space inside.
What a clever idea.
Yeah, it keeps it a bit quieter too, so you can't hear that as it's rumbling around.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, this really is such a unique and striking building from the outside, and I cannot wait to see what you've done inside. Can we take a look?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on in.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. Oh, this place is absolutely magical. It's just got such a cozy feeling in here.
Thanks, Bryce. Yeah.
Thanks, Bryce.
And beyond all that, it also just feels incredibly spacious. You've got this gigantic feature window and lovely opening doors that just really give you this incredible sense of space in the house.
That was a focus of ours, just to try and encapsulate as much of the view as possible. It's such an opportunity. I mean, a view like that, why wouldn't you have as much glass as you possibly can?
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. And then you've got all of this really gorgeous brickwork as well.
Yeah, so these bricks are 130 years old. They're all handmade, and they're all out of an old bakery up in this town called Matawa, which is not too far from here, so quite local.
And that's true of a lot of what's been put into this house. A lot of the materials chosen are reclaimed.
Definitely. Pretty much any timber that you can see in the house has been sourced from somewhere. It's had a previous life.
Yeah, primary school basketball court, which you wouldn't be able to tell from how much these have been stripped back.
Is that the ceiling?
Yeah, so all of
Wow.
these.
The timber used around the house as well, like in the front facade and the trusses, the butcher's block, that's old bridge timber, so that's blackbutt timber out of an old bridge. The timber in the staircase is out of an old warehouse in Melbourne, so it's been pulled from literally everywhere.
The floors in here are really beautiful.
Yeah, we really like polished concrete. So when we laid the slab, we were sort of considering the material to be used in there as the aggregate, so we sort of went with the blue stone and a little bit of river stone as well. And with the natural light bouncing off that, just lightens the space even more.
And one of the things that I really like about this room as well is the way that you've beautifully added all of this open storage that just helps to, again, build all of that character and charm into the room.
Yeah, it's an opportunity to showcase some of your beloved possessions, I think.
Yeah, we've got my little books over there, and there's a really lovely local artist that we got a few little pieces off, and some friends' art as well. So yeah, it's just making these little added extras that kind of make the space just feel really, really cozy.
Yeah. I really like the very open plan feeling down here as well. The lounge area especially is gorgeous.
We're big cooks. We love to be busy in the kitchen. So we have friends over. It's really important to us to be able to just have that space that we can then just have a chat with our mates while we're cooking away. Hence having the block here and just having everyone in the one space. So it's just kind of flows through nicely.
And very comfy, but quite a compact couch.
Yep.
Well, more of a love seat, I'd say, maybe.
Yeah, it was funny that one. We were trying to decide if we'd buy furniture, but we ended up prototyping that thing from the timber that was left over from the frame.
Oh wow, you made this?
Yeah, we just had a mattress that we chopped in half when we moved in, and we just hurriedly made this couch that sort of fit there, thinking that, we'll definitely redesign this. But it just worked really well.
It's definitely still cozy to sort of kick back
Yeah,
on.
you can fit two people in it easy.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then the kitchen design as well is really nice. I like how you've got the island. And are these concrete bench tops again?
They are. We poured them inside the house because we didn't really have anywhere else that had a flat surface.
Yeah, Benj did a good job. I think it was when we first moved in, he was quite precious about doing things. I was a little bit nervous about getting any marks on them, but I think it's part of the character now, this kind of,
Yeah, I've come around.
Yeah, you've come around well. Yeah, so having a fully functioning kitchen was really important to us, and not really compromising on the space, which I think we've managed to do well without it sort of drowning out the rest of the area. So
Yeah, so the aim was to have just full drawers, so basically drawers throughout. So by using this L shape, being able to capitalise on the space really well. Even managed to fit a little dish drawer in there, so washing our dishes.
The butler's sink is a really nice touch in here that fits perfectly into the style.
Yeah, I think you pretty much designed the whole kitchen around the sink, didn't you?
Yeah, so when we were spending time with Holly's mum overseas, she had one of those and I think I just fell in love with it and pretty much, yeah, did design the kitchen around that sink. I mean, I'll be completely honest, I definitely stole that from some of your videos, so can't take the cred.
Beautifully done though. You've got the full-sized cooktop and oven as well?
Yeah, having a full-size cooker and oven was important because we really enjoy cooking. It's something that we've bonded over. And yeah, also being able to entertain people in this area, it really allows us to cook
some... a proper feast.
Yeah, cook some delicious meals.
Yeah.
And then I like how you've got the fridge under the stairs as well.
Yeah, so it's a funny one, that one. Built the stairs hoping that there would be a model of fridge that would fit. Luckily, there actually was. So yeah, it fits quite neatly, and then we're able to cover up that space to store our vacuum cleaner, some wine, and yeah, just some fruit and veg on top in that basket.
Nice. And then behind the wall there we have your bathroom.
Yeah, sure, let's go take a look.
Let's take a look. Again, this is just so nicely done. The tile work in here just makes for such an amazing feature.
Yeah, we love it. We knew that this was going to be the sort of smallest space in the house, and we kind of wanted to play around with that and get like big splashes of colour and things in here. So it took us quite a while to find, actually. A fair little while. Yeah, I think combing through for about a year or something. But yeah, we just love the kind of the blues and the oranges.
It was my crash course in tiling. So I used basically YouTube to teach myself how to tile and spent 2 months in here tiling away. But yeah, I think we're really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we just also wanted to add a few little features. So the recessed shelving there, and then also this line of tiles just around the entrance here, which is just kind of another little added bonus and kind of draws you into the bathroom as you're looking out, and you can see these beautiful colours from outside as well.
Yeah, it certainly does draw you in.
Yeah.
So we use the sliding door just to save space in the house. Funnily enough, that is ironbark timber. It's reclaimed from a friend's old pig farm that they were tearing down. And then likewise over here, we've got our recessed sort of shelves, and they just take up the internal cavity of the wall. So right on the other side is our kitchen, obviously, but just using that space really well.
Very tidy. I like the way you've done the open shower there.
Yeah, we really hope to fit a full-size shower into the house. Was on our priority list.
Flushing toilet as well?
Yep, so we've got a septic system out on the hill. Our block was just big enough to get a septic signed off, so we decided to go with that one.
And the vanity and basin just look so good. That basin especially just adds so much character.
Yeah, that was a bit of a headache to make. We started doing pottery at some point during the build just as a bit of fun. It was a nice way to escape our days and just get away from everything and just be creative. We were looking for a basin for a while, but we couldn't really find one. So I asked my pottery teacher if I could maybe make a basin. She had a bit of a heart attack, poor chick. So I made 2 of them.
And you have done a wonderful job there. It just really adds so much to the room. And above us we have your mezzanine.
Yeah, let's go take a look.
Let's go have a look. Oh, this is so cool. Coming up here, and again, just being hit by that window and that view is pretty epic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite specky. It's not a bad view to wake up to every morning, gotta say.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Absolutely. And it's a very compact and quite clever stair design as well.
Yeah, so we went with the spiral staircase to obviously conserve on space inside the house. It just sort of relegates it to that corner, but then it also was just this amazing project to undertake in terms of the technical side of things.
And don't think that the Harry Potter nook escaped me down there too.
Yeah, well, when we met, I did ask him if he had read Harry Potter, and he said no, so it was nearly a deal breaker. But he
dangerous ground.
Swiftly changed that, yeah.
Yeah.
Crisis averted.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
And this place really is just so charming. Gorgeous, lovely place to rest your head at night.
Yeah, like downstairs, we didn't want to sort of compromise on the size of the bed in the bedroom, so it's a full queen-size bed.
Yeah, full queen, which also allows you to build in a lot more storage. So Holly's wardrobe's all down here.
Yeah.
And then over the side, we've sort of got a few deeper drawers to store linens and things like that. And then over in the book nook seated area, that's my wardrobe. There's also a fair bit of storage built into the top, so you can sort of fold the bed head forward. It's got a couple of power points as well in there if you need them. And the little bedside table If you don't want it, you can just slide it back inside because it's on a little drawer runner system.
What a clever idea. And then you've even got a little bit of extra storage welded into the balustrade there.
So true to form of the entire house, take any centimetre you can and create storage out of it. That's what we did right there.
Excellent.
A little bedside table for you.
And what's that against the wall there?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of extra space, so just a little wardrobe for us if we need to hang anything, which we don't tend to do we really?
No,
just
not really.
Scrunch things in the drawers, but yeah, it's just there if we do need to.
Always nice to have the option.
Yeah.
And the seating nook is really cool. Again, perfectly positioned to just sit down, chill out, and enjoy the view.
Holly is a massive bookworm, so that was a prerequisite, I reckon, to be able to enjoy the view, read books as long as you want.
Yeah, that's right. Just wanted somewhere cosy we could come and sit. We've got the shelving up there and just sit in a little cosy corner and look out at this beautiful view.
And obviously, this is a very tall house, and even up here, you get the full benefit of the very high ceiling.
Yeah, even for you, Bryce, you can fit in with lots of space to move.
It can stretch right out.
Yeah. We wanted it to be spacious, and yeah, the higher ceilings really help us to achieve that.
They certainly do. And how long have you been living here now?
We've been living in the house about 2 years now.
Yeah, about 2.5 years.
Sort of adapting the space as we live in it, and that grows with us, I think.
Yeah. As you're in the space, you realise what works and what doesn't, and what sort of extra little bits you want to put in.
Yeah, you can try and design a space for how you want it to work, but ultimately, once you start living in it, it's just always going to change. And it's sort of
organically changed over time.
Yeah.
And how is the space working for you?
To be fair, I think it's working pretty well. We haven't really changed many things. We've sort of adapted spaces, but yeah, I think practically it's working really well. Like functionally with all the storage, it's working really well.
We've got it exactly how we want it. It's kind of hard to put into words what it what it means now. It's kind of seen us through some quite difficult times in our lives, I guess. When we first moved out to the block, my dad passed away a year or so before. And then during the process of the build, Benj's dad sadly got diagnosed with cancer and passed away just after we'd managed to finish the build. But it's been a really healing space for us, I think, to be able to be out here. I mean, we've got the beautiful mountains out there and just the stunning garden, and then just this cosy home that's really had all of our own ideas and our own input in every little aspect of it. So yeah, it's such a warm, sort of inviting space. That's been just really crucial to both of us to be able to come home to it and I guess just be...
It's like a nurturing feeling now, I think. This encompassing feeling of support from the house, obviously, but also from just friends and family getting us through this really tough journey.
This is such an incredible DIY project, and obviously so much of your love and hard work has been poured into making this place possible. But can we talk about the cost that was involved?
In the end, fully furnished and everything that's in here, I think we're probably sitting at around 200,000. That includes the solar, water, landscaping,
all the native plants we planted outside.
I think that really is such a great result, and you have built a tremendous home here for that money. There's no question about that.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Well, this really is just such an amazing home that you have built for yourselves. All throughout, I can see all of the care and attention to detail that you have poured into this home, and you have created the most magical space for yourselves to call home. Thank you so much for sharing it with me.
Thanks so much, Bryce. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Bryce. Thanks for coming over.
Great to be here. Benj and Holly have done such an amazing job with this home. From the hours of work that they've poured into this space, the gorgeous use of reclaimed materials, there is an incredible amount to love about this home. I love when I see projects like this that are kind of upsized tiny houses. It's got the best of both worlds. You have the sense of spaciousness, but also all of the clever functionality built into the home. And ultimately, this really is an amazing place that they have created for themselves.